Y'all, I'm gonna just start this off by saying this. I love dogs. But my neighbor's dog, Punchy, barks all fucking day and all night, interrupts my damn sleep, interrupts my damn recordings. Like, shut the fuck up, Punchy. Quickly. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Welcome back to my channel. What are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing? You should be clicking the subscribe button, the red rectangle with the word subscribe in the middle of it. Yes, click those and become a ray of sunshine. You can be part of my family. You can live in light and truth, even though we could do 100 in the shade easy with our eyes closed and our hands tied behind our back. To my family, what's up, what's up, what's up? You know I love you for real in real life. I say it every time because I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And I hope I show that to you when we communicate down in the comments below. So we are reviewing How to Get Away with Murder, season number 4, episode number 2, I Am Not Her. Just for a quick recap of last week's episode, the premiere episode of season 4, we saw Annalise say goodbye to her interns. She gave them all recommendation letters saying, hey, I'm not good for you. I am bringing you down, all the way down to where one of you have gotten killed. Like, I thought that was heartwarming. Check it out. If you don't believe me, go back and see what I said. In addition, we saw that she started therapy again. Because why? It was a condition of what? Her getting her license back from the Bar Association. They have given her another shot because she went up there and poured her heart out, was humble, and just put it all out on the line. And I thought, way to go, Annalise. Yeah, you are changing. Okay, you are. Yes. Okay. Not only that, one of the big shockers was Bonnie. She also told Bonnie so long, gave her a recommendation letter, and severed her ties with her. But the part that was shocking was the fact that Bonnie is now a ADA. She works for the district attorney. What? How do you go from being a defense attorney to a prosecutor? What? I guess so. I mean, let's see what happens. She's not a bulldog, so I don't know how well that's going to work for Bonnie. We're going to see this season, though. And then Laurel. We saw Laurel see her dad. We saw Laurel tell her dad that she had an abortion. We saw that Laurel is actually pregnant still, 4 months to be exact. We also saw that Laurel knows her dad had Wes killed. And then there was some weird thing. She was in a hospital yelling, where's my baby, where's my baby? And Annalise's court-appointed therapist was there. And it was really weird. Like, the shit is going to hit the fan. So was Frank. What did they do to her baby? So let's talk about episode number 2. Let's talk about it. Now, How to Get Away with Murder is a little bit different than how I would normally recap and review. So y'all bear with me. We're going to find some rhythm that works for us. I like to go, by character or by kind of like scene. But I don't know how well that's going to work because these scenes are definitely intertwined very well. So I'm going to try it. Stay with me. So throughout the whole episode, we see Annalise with her therapist with timestamps across each of the time they go and they show us a piece of her session. But all of those sessions all of those timestamps relate to something that's actually going on during that past week is how I'm going to say. Sort of, kind of. Let's start off with what's easiest, I think, and that would be the interns. The interns are prepping for the show. Y'all, out of the interns, I'm going to be honest, Michaela is my favorite. And it's not because she's black. It's because she's beautiful. And she's brilliant. And she takes no mercy. Holds nothing back. Is coming for you. If you mess with mine, I'm going to fuck you up. Like, that's how we live in real life. So anyway, we see the interns preparing for the show. You see Asher and Michaela. Oh, we don't really see them talk. We see them talking about it a little bit. Then we see Connor and Oliver. Connor's not taking this serious at all. Oliver is trying to help him. Oliver works for some, IT group now. And then you see Laurel, who was not prepared. She gets a phone call that says, don't forget the show today, and throws her clothes on and rushes out because Laurel is busy trying to find her dad, where he is and how he got to West and how to ruin his life. She is Googling people and all kind of stuff. So that's why she's distracted this entire time. But I'm going to tell you this. Let me see what notes I wrote. Michaela. Okay. When they all get together at first, right? Asher's kind of the goofy clown, right? And then you've got Connor, who is like, I don't know. He is a little self-entitled more than Asher. And he's kind of the sarcastic, narcissistic one. Would you agree or no? And then you've got Michaela, who is strong, has direction, who is brilliant. You have Laurel, who is also brilliant, but in a different kind of way. She's also very self-driven. When she sees something she wants, she goes after it and she can get it. She's very driven, but in a different way than Michaela is. I think more so Laurel is driven by her emotions. You know what I'm saying? And we got to learn how not to do that. We got to learn how to separate emotions from reality so that we can be here now and we can succeed at the things that we want to do. But when we see them, I'm going to tell you, Michaela was prepared when she's talking to the panels of the different law firms for an internship. Asher is somewhat prepared. What did I write? I wrote something here. Okay, I wrote that Asher is somewhat prepared, but is very effective in his answers. So though he's a jokey joke kind of clown kind of guy, he is very effective in what he says and knows what to say. Like he's been groomed for. Remember, his dad was a judge a couple seasons ago before they killed him. Then Laurel is prepared, but in a more nonchalant, I'm here to help people, more, even though she's actually very wealthy, probably the wealthiest of them all. She's very low key, but prepared, trying to hide that she has a baby, but I'm here for the people. And then you have Connor, who is totally ill prepared. Connor has no clue as what to say to those two young lawyers that he was interviewing with. When he should have, to me, for Connor, what he should have did was went regular Connor and been like, why are you here? When he knew he wasn't going to get the job, he should have went straight to, why are you here? He said, really, I just want to be able to be better than you two jokers. Like, he should have went that route, I feel like, because he wasn't prepared. He should have just went into his natural sarcastic self. Being yourself always helps you no matter what. You can figure out how to spin everything in your favor. We saw that when they were preparing that Connor did not take Oliver serious, right? Okay, so with the interns, everybody got who got a call back? Come to find out, everybody got a call back except for Connor. Michaela 3 callbacks or 5 callbacks. Asher maybe 3. I don't know, but everybody but Connor, because Connor wasn't prepared. And Laurel pretended she didn't get a call back. She actually got a call back from legal aid, but flaked out on it. Asher and Michaela went to Colin. I think that's the name of the firm. It's Colin and something, which was the most prestigious firm, as well as the one that paid the most money. We saw that we know Asher has an anger issue, but Michaela is really the dog. Like, he's the bark, but Michaela will bite the shit out of you. You saw how she was protecting her man. Y'all, I was all with that. Like, okay, girl, get him. And was very, very professional about it. Very, that get in your face and talk with your mouth, your teeth clenched, or you smiling. I will kill you is pretty much what that says. I love that man, and you have fucked up his chances by showing everyone who he really is. Ultimately, the asshole, I can't think of his name because he's a non-fucking factor, right? He's a non-motherfucking factor. So I can't remember his name, but he got in as well as Michaela. Now, I know somehow he's going to get caught up with that whole Annalise Keating thing because they're bringing him back too much for him not to. He wanted to be one of the interns, but he's going to end up getting mixed up in this somehow, and I really can't wait to see it. But what we did see is Laurel has really been doing her research. That's why she missed her internship. interview with legal aid, she found out that that is the same firm that represents her dad. And she told Michaela, you're going to help me take down my dad because my dad killed Wes. The cat is out the bag. She has now shared it. Now, of course, she's going to back it up to Michaela. Michaela wants to know, how do you figure? You know, she ain't said that, but she wants to know, how do you figure? Where do we get this information from? Okay, that's enough about them. Let's talk about Annalise. Annalise and the timestamps at the therapist's office. So Annalise goes to the therapist's office and she begins to talk about her new client that she has. And she's explaining everything about the client, but the therapist is saying, you're deflecting. Let's talk about you. Annalise is saying, hey, why aren't you allowing me to get comfortable with you? They're going back and forth. He wants her to fill out a checklist, and the checklist has a lot of stuff that Annalise has been through. Annalise has really actually been really traumatized, tortured throughout her life, including in her marriage. They begin to talk, and he wants her to open up, and she doesn't want to open up, or she does, but not yet. She's very cautious, very cautious about the things that she says or what information that she gives to him. And there's a reason behind that. You and I don't really understand the reason quite yet. But as they continue to talk, and she talks about her client and her client's addictive behavior and how they don't change, and, you know, leopard never changes his spots and things are the same and blase, blase, blase. The therapist opens up. The therapist says, I once was a heroin addict and I am clean. Look at me now. Look at me now. I'm fresh than a motherfucker. Okay, I be having that moment. Look at me now. I always have a moment. So, you see Annalise change. And she was like, I really wish you wouldn't have told me that. Now, during the whole time, he references her previous therapist. Well, is that what your old therapist did? That didn't help you. Is that what your old therapist did? Constantly referencing him. And when he says, opens up to her, she says, I really wish you wouldn't have done that. My previous therapist, I saw when I was going to college. I thought that's what people that were well off to do, or when I first started as a lawyer, whatever it was, she said, I thought that was what you were supposed to do. But I was doing the same thing. I was talking about my cases and not my situation. So my old therapist opened up to me and told me something about himself. And I opened myself up to him, and I just kept going, and it felt good and it felt comfortable. And I married my therapist, Sam Keating. See, I had forgotten that Sam was an actual therapist. It's been so long since we've seen Sam 1 and 2, seasons 1 and 2. It's been so long since we've seen him that I had forgotten that he was a therapist, and I had forgotten that he was his wife's therapist before they had gotten married. I forgot. Did you forget? Tell me down below in the comments. Did you forget? Because I totally forgot. Like, I was like, oh. And so the funny thing is, I think she's thinking, I'm gonna hold back because now I'm afraid I'm gonna open up and we're gonna fall in love. Like, if that's a pattern for you, you know. He also tells her that she kind of relates to her current client. I'll tell you why in just a second, because we're going to talk about her current client. Her current client is now Jasmine Broomhall. Brumhall? Jasmine B. Jasmine is the older woman, the woman with wisdom that she sailed with, her cellie, her roomie in jail, who kind of saved her from getting her ass kicked, or kind of helped her catapult herself out of there, kind of thing. Well, she was her friend there. She was a support system there for her. And if you remember, last season, Jasmine had said to her, I saw you in the courtroom before. And I thought to myself, why couldn't that queen be someone who represented me? Well, that stuck with Annalise. She came back and pro bono as her lawyer. Goodness gracious, tongue-tied. So when we see them, you know, Jasmine seems to be excited about Annalise being her lawyer. We see that, and that it's going to be free. She is excited, instantly says, yes, I will go ahead and switch over to you as my public defender. As my defense attorney. The public defender was shit anyway, and is excited, genuinely happy about her coming to help her. Well, when they get to the courtroom, Annalise tries to get some evidence suppressed and it doesn't work. She ends up talking to the ADA, and the ADA says, I've gone soft on her with just the weapons charge and solicitation. Why don't you take a look at the video, the body cam? When they look at the body cam shows, oh, I need to back up. When they look at the body cam shows that Jazz offered her services to the arresting officers. Just come on, get in the back seat. Let me let you feel good real quick. Come on, I got what you need. You know, blah, 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 blah. Now, I need to back up because Annalise wanted to file an extension, but did not. You know, Annalise didn't do that shit. It was all beneath her, honey. She had people for that. You know, Bonnie and the interns to do all of that stuff. Well, when he told her as she was walking out, because I've got a lot of keys, I have a lot of cases to try, Miss Keating, hurry up. When she's walking out, Bonnie is walking in, and you can see the exasperation on Annalise's face. Like, now is not the time for this, Bonnie. Like, she's like, you're beneath me. Kind of throwing her off, honey. But did she get egg in her face or what? Bonnie was like, I'm not here for that. I work for the DA's office now. Face cracked and on the ground. And you can file the 106 document on the third floor. Boop. I was like, okay, one for Bonnie, but bitch, I still don't like you. You still is real weak and you real intimidated. I'm gonna need you to get some backbone. Honey, it's okay to have backbone as a woman, okay? It's okay. I understand Annalise is a fucking beast in the courtroom, but so can you be. You've been under her for quite some time. So I'm not understanding what the problem is. Bonnie irritates the shit out of me if you haven't seen that. Okay, things that I get real serious about, you start seeing me doing my shoulder when I'm really like, yeah, just a tidbit information. You just watch for the shoulder. So continuing with Jasmine, when they go back and she's talking to Jasmine and she says, why didn't you tell me? And Jasmine looks and she laughs and she said, that's normally that's what happens. Well, you know, them is some nasty niggas. They do nasty shit like regular niggas. Not all niggas, but them niggas is nasty. So, I mean, I understood what she was saying. Y'all probably could understand what she's saying. I mean, makes sense to me. I'm sure, you know, in metropolitan areas, they don't do that at all, do they? They don't solicit for services. You don't see them sitting on the side of a road, do you? How many times have you seen it? No, seriously. So, Jasmine gets upset with her. Because Annalise says, you should have told me. Annalise and Jasmine was like, no, don't blame this on me. You just feeling sorry for me and you took my case instead of doing your work. If you wanted to get me off, this is what you would say. You would go and tell them that I was 13 when I got sold for smack by my daddy and a wolf pack ran on me. A train ran on me at 13 years old. And that is when it started, when I was going into the jail, and the cycle began because you got high just so that you could deal with being a prostitute and soliciting your body for money, only to be picked up for soliciting, only to plead out, only to start the cycle all over again. She told her what for. I was like, get it, mama. Tell her why she bullshitting. Don't be looking down on me. If you having pity, I don't mind having to sit here. It is what it is. My life is over. I mean, I was like, this is intense, but it was a swift kick in the ass that Annalise needed. She needed that kick in the ass, that jolt, because she has been relying on the interns and on her employees, Bonnie and Frank, to do all the grunge work. All she would do was go and present it. But you know, that's what paralegals do too, right? That's what they do. Interns, paralegals, that's what they do. So y'all know who really know your case is the paralegals. Be friends with the interns and the paralegals because they're just they got all the information. Okay, I digress. So we see Annalise dive in, and now she wants the sealed records, but nobody wants to give them to her. The ADA is saying, I'm not going to help you. Bonnie is like, bitch, I'm not going to help you. But you could see in that interaction when they were in the ADA's office and her interaction with Bonnie, you could see Bonnie was very much so intimidated, like a little weak girl in a shell when it came to Annalise. But again, she put up her britches and she slammed the door. But I guarantee you that shit's going to come full circle. Bonnie is going to have to deal with the repercussions of her actions. She couldn't find another fucking law firm to go to. Y'all, that irritated me so much. That watch the last video, it irritated me to no end. Okay, so ultimately Annalise Keating showed up in court, showed up and tried that case, tried it, ran it down, said, had the officer who arrested her for solicitation at 13 and showed very identical cases of white girls who were solicited, who got arrested for the same charges. But the difference is her record was sealed and she was sent out on the street. Her, Jasmine, the other 4 white young girls were sealed and sent off to rehab, providing a better chance. And this was very touching, very moving, very real life to me, because the crying, we are still, I can't expunge your previous record, but I can seal it so that you can be a productive person in society. But at 58, she don't have no skills, y'all. At 58, what do you think she's gonna do at 58? Is she gonna go out and try to be part of the workforce, or is she gonna go back to doing what she knows how to do? Is she gonna go back to a life of drugs and selling her body like Annalise believes she's gonna do? And this is where the therapist tells her it's okay to have hope. It's okay for her to, you know, think that people are going to do fine. And this is where the therapist opens up to her about his heroin addiction and how he's overcame it, and where she says, I wish you hadn't. But here you go. Right before that, he keeps trying to figure out why she wants this case. Why did you pick this case? You think you're her. Annalise is saying, I'm not her. He's like, you think you're her because she was wrongly touched. Is that the right word? When she was 13, abused, sexually abused as a child. You were sexually abused, or he's assuming that maybe she had been sexually abused as a child. And he's explained to her, you are identifying with her. There's something about her that you're identifying with. And the fact of the matter is, he's right. I think that he's right. What do you think? Give this a thumbs up if you think that he was right in saying the reason she chose the case was not because she befriended her in jail, but because she actually can relate to Jasmine's story in some way. And this is giving Jasmine a fresh start, okay? So because it's giving Jasmine a fresh start, this is also Annalise's fresh start. Her road to redemption of not having people look at her as this horrible lawyer. Are you in agreement with me? Go ahead. Thumbs up, because I'm sure agreeing with the therapist that the reason she took the case was because she could relate to the story in some way, meaning she was molested or she was sexually abused as a child. And then on top of that, this is her fresh start. This is her clean slate. So again, Annalise was sexually abused by her uncle as a child, and she's in a new season in her life. This is a fresh start. This is a new case, right? Okay, so we saw glimpses into the next episode. Wait, is there some stuff I'm missing? Frank came to the door. It looks like Annalise is afraid of Frank now. And Frank is a stalker, not only with Laurel, but with Annalise. Frank is that dude that says, I'm always going to be in your life. There's nothing you can do about it. And it's kind of creepy. That's Frank. y'all, that's Frank. Come on now. Y'all know that that's Frank. He creepy as fuck. I think he's cute, but he's still creepy. Like, I wouldn't even want to, I'm with Annalise, girl. Get your taser. Get your taser. Because, honey, he kind of creeps me out. He loves her too much. He loves her too much. And when somebody loves you as much as that, it becomes a little scary, a little off-putting. Like, she was scared. You saw it. I saw it. And what else? Oh, Frank lied to Bonnie. He was supposed to be going over there making dinner for Bonnie and fucking Bonnie, pretty much. But he was busy watching off after Laurel. Why was he watching Laurel? Well, we can speculate. We can. Because, again, they showed us the scene at the hospital where I thought it was a month prior, the thing across the bottom said 2.5 months before. That's when she got up screaming, "Where's my baby? Where's my baby?" Where Frank was running, that she had woken up and saying that the drugs have worn off. And we find out that the therapist was on the phone with Annalise saying, "She's awake. Annalise, where are you? Show up." Then they cut to Annalise's hotel room, and there's no one to be found. You see Bonnie walking through, and you go to the elevator, and there's blood all over the elevator. What do you think that's about? Do you think she lost the baby and that's her blood all over the elevator? This is how to get away with murder. This is how to get away with murder. So that would kind of be too easy. That would be kind of too easy. I think that maybe her dad found out that she was still pregnant, set her up. And I think whoever was killed in the elevator had something to do with it. Like it was Dominic or somebody. Who do y'all think got killed in the elevator? This is going to be good. This is like a murder mystery. That's why I like How to Get Away with Murder, because they have you in suspense until the end. What did you think about the episode? How did you feel about how I recapped it? I'm going to get it together. I'm going to figure out how we're going to recap this all over the place, twist and turn kind of thing. I really appreciate you sticking this out with me. We just reviewed How to Get Away with Murder, Season 4, Episode number 2. I am not her. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Thank you so much for watching. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I will see you on the next video.